Hello. For those that came over from the other one, I apologize. Uh, Sorry about that. Greg called. I had to answer. Plus, my phone is so backed up with footage and stuff like that that if as soon as anything happens on my phone, it will shut everything I'm doing down. There's nothing I can do about it. It just happens. So I apologize, guys. Hey, what's up, Greg? It's been a while. Right on, KP. Yeah, I just started a live just a few minutes ago, but we kind of goofed up a little bit, and so we're gonna retry, and we'll see if we can do this one a little better. I don't know if that's gonna work too good with the gloomy light right here in the background. We'll see. So, as I was saying, I'm going to show you guys the Greg Brown Tether. Started to watch it and saw you got off. Yeah, Greg has been working this tether for a while. It's awesome. It's been awesome to be part of it and see him adjust and make things better and make it to where it's adaptable to other devices, and it's been wild to see all the work get done, and it's gotten better and better and better. So I'm incredibly impressed with it. This isn't something to where I want to like tell you gotta have one of these. I'm just like sharing something that I enjoy, that I really like, and I don't even know the game plan for Greg, what his intentions are with the tether. He's very creative, and the work he's done it's awesome. So I'm gonna get into it. I actually have my camera on the right side. You won't have to see my fat thumb all the time. And we're gonna try to do this as best as I can. But I'm there's gonna be things that I'm not gonna be totally right about, but I'm gonna give you my experience with it. Just understand that I'm not the guy that designed it. So there's some questions that I probably won't be able to answer, and things that I probably won't know. But aluminum tether with tree climbing. So I'm gonna set one up first. This is what I climb on normally, which is the rope wrench with the zigzag. So, to hook this up, I usually pull the pin on the rope wrench, then I'll collapse the zigzag, take the end of my rope, and run it through. Then I'll tighten the zigzag up until I get it, about a hip level to where I'd want to climb on it. And then, let's see, what light is doing that? One of these lights is a little too much. Maybe this one. Yep. Ah, that's not going to work. Let's see. Maybe. Almost. So, I put it like this, then I slide the pin in, turn it like we were talking about, and hook it up. Maybe I just put you guys right here. All the way up on it. So, that's how I set it up. This is what I normally climb on. So, what I have here, the front part is there's a quickie link. So this is where I'll attach, like sometimes as I'm climbing I can reach up, grab a hold of it and pull too, and it'll just tend my slack. But this is what I clip into for my chest harness so that it tends the slack as I go up, or I'll throw my lanyard over my shoulder, and this being such a big clip, it helps. I can just take my lanyard and clip it in and then head straight up. So this is basically 90% of my climbing is done here on this. So Greg's new Tether now has this aluminum stopper built-in piece, and it's still the rubber gasket at the angle, which I like the action that you get from it when it hits. Let me... That's a little better. Yeah, okay. So, I like the action from it. So now it's so nice. This is the original design, just the rubber gasket, and then you would have this Carter key that would go underneath it into a groove on this that would stop that piece and keep it to where it never came down, and then you would just pay attention to it. As you can see, he's originally the gaskets we were like straight, and then you would adjust your action on the gasket by giving it a bit of an angle, and that just started to become perfect. And so he did different variations of the bottom. So this design was one of the first ones. I believe he probably had it set up on a different kind of micro pulley, but I use a hitch climber. So originally when I would set this up, I would run into troubles hitting in the middle. So because the hitch climber design, and I use the middle one a lot of times. So what I ended up doing was I carved a little bit of it out, but still that wasn't enough. So what Greg did was lengthen the legs on it. So now it has longer legs here, which give plenty of play and space up in here for the hitch climber, for any kind of micro pulley. But this new design with the stopper, this is so nice. It just looks so clean. It works so good. These legs that are on this for the hitch climber actually come out. So they come down and bow outward and then back down. Here's one of them not connected. So this tether here, before I painted it, was aluminum, had these on it, and was meant for the zigzag. It had the rubber gasket on it with this piece, but now Greg has moved to, here is the stopper, here is a new hose gasket, and then here's new legs. So that's what I was doing, is I was going to set this up and then show you guys what one set up and new for the hitch climber pulley ends up looking like. So that's basically what I'm going to do here. And I was going to show you guys my knee ascender. I finally finished my knee ascender up. Maybe I can keep this light on now. Yeah, as long as I stay out. I finally finished my knee ascender up. Let me show you. So, whoever was on here and told me that using the zip ties, I should back it up, whatever, you were right. It broke instantly. So, now I've switched. What I did is I welded. I took a piece of strap and then sewed it, as this is a foot ascender from a Panton foot ascender. Then I attach the bungee to the back. Switch the clip now. Went to like a hitch or a Haas Classic clip. This is what I used to have with my Haas, so I moved back to it. And then I switched here to just a little link that sits there, and I can take my foot loop off and still use it for the gree-gree if I need. But this thing would come up, and a lot of times I'll attach mine to my chest, or I'll attach it like up onto my rope wrench. So I would end up going like somewhere in there. And then as it goes up, it'll stretch and it tends itself. So I like reusing things. So that's what I came up with. It now stays all aligned and straight, pretty nice. I have a lot of action with the bungee. So yeah, that's my Nia Cinder. It's done. It finally finished it. I feel like it came out pretty good. Maybe I'm wrong. Hey, you okay, right on. Stupid question. Got a branch I'm trying to get it off, and it's over the house, and I'm using a boom and a 50-foot long, and the branch is still 25 foot high. How do you get it down? Okay, so dog leash technique, it depends on how much space you have, but let's say you have a branch, put these two together, there's your branch. So you can only reach halfway. More than likely, as long as you don't like snap cut it and let it slam into the system, if you can dog leash it, rope here or a strap, and then back to behind where you're going to cut, this limb should be able to hold this weight. It's held it its whole life. So dropping this weight into it as gently as possible and then letting it hang off of it. Or if you're real ballsy, you can try to hinge it and hope it holds with no ropes. But I would say dog leash it to itself and cut it and let the branch hold the weight. I've seen guys where they cut it and let it hang to the bucket. I think it's crazy, but it's either that or you need to, if you don't have the room to let that come over, then you need to try swinging it somehow with ropes or, you know, anything like that. That would be my suggestion on that. Hello everyone from Columbus, Ohio. Oh, right on. Sky the Tree Guy. Right on. How are you, buddy? Without hitting the house. I have to answer if there's enough room to do that, though. Scoot, what's up? I like it, but I don't think I would use it a whole lot. I'm still old school. Yeah, well, I would never go back to climbing old school because of how easy and so many advantages came with this kind of climbing. I climbed old school for, you know, I would say 12 years maybe a little more than that, maybe to 15. But when I moved to this kind of stuff, not even so much this new setup will be with a prusik rope and a micro pulley. So I understand being scared of devices like this, fully mechanical, but the rope wrench and its design, it takes, okay, normally if you were running dual rope, it would go up and your other line would be running right here. So now we artificially cut this system in half and change the rope direction to over here. Same as if you had two side by side. That rope direction says bam, which allows you to double your friction here. I know I'm probably not explaining that exactly right, but if you look, when this thing goes into action, boom, it pulls the rope. Now the rope is over here where if you were climbing dual, it would be. So the friction developed here allows this thing to only hold like half of what it's really doing. So that's why you can climb on a single line. Now, as I'm moving and I'm going up the tree, when I go up a foot with this, I keep a foot. When you run dual, when you go up a foot, you got to move 2 foot of rope. I don't have to do that. I only move for everything I get, I keep. You have to give away half of yours every time to your rope if you're climbing dual. So let me get to setting this thing up. Here it is. Make sure I don't get behind. Dang, I'm behind. Possibly stand it up depending on experience. Yeah, that's the other thing I was gonna say. Maybe I just need to try it, right? Yeah, yeah. You do, Stephen. Way easier on you. Okay, right on. That's what I thought he was talking about. Definitely you do. Definitely you do. And I don't mind answering as many questions as you got. So let me get to setting this thing up. Greg's awesome. I spent a bunch of time taking, getting all the nuts and bolts and everything off this, and didn't even pay attention that Greg already had new ones in here for me. So, I think for those that do, unless you're somebody that, I think the zigzag is a great device for guys that climb dual rope and they want to try mechanical stuff and see what it's like. So you buy the zigzag and then you try that out and you're like, wow, you know, I could climb on mechanical stuff. It's not so bad. For moving to SRT, I would suggest not going from a zigzag to that, you know, to SRT and climbing on something like this, fully mechanical. I would suggest on what we're about to do, which is get you a prusik and a micro pulley and a rope wrench and try that out. Then your familiar things can bring comfort. You can feel more comfortable climbing on a, let's see, friction cord. Makes me feel comfortable. It's what I'm used to. It's what I know. So that part will feel nice and comfortable to me, as opposed to, even to this day, I still get weirded out by the zigzag. You know, it's just so mechanical. And machines mess up. So we're going to take this wrench here that earlier today I got a chance to hit with some black spray paint so that it matches everything else that I own. If black spray paint ever had trouble, like in the stock market, I could keep them going, I think. I use it for everything. So. Oh, hang on, these, one's right, one's, no, okay. I started worrying. It shouldn't take me too long. There's a bit of a gap in here. Because the way I got it set up. But what's nice is when you have one of these aluminum tethers and you're climbing, you know, it's a handle. You basically end up with a handle to hold on to your climbing device, and it's just, oh, it's so nice. I've grown to love having it and like depend on it. You'll notice with my climbing that I find myself like reaching out for it all the time, and when I'm having to one hand and hold on or anything, usually if I look at the video, my hands are a lot of times on the wrench tethers, holding on to it. So I kind of figured these may be tight because of the paint. So they are. But yeah, it's been awesome to see all the advancements that he's made over the years or so here. It's been a little longer than that he's been messing with it. He's gotten it down though, enough that I feel like 100% comfortable with it. Yeah, until I start dropping and losing stuff. Dang. Where the heck did that go? Oh no. Wow. I have literally lost it. I should expect it. That's about the way things work in my world. Whoa, what am I doing? But luckily I have some extra pieces around here. That way if I don't find it, I found it. Of course it rolled all the way up underneath the chair. Let me see if I can get you guys plugged up so this thing doesn't get completely dead. And I'll try to keep up with the... Oh, what's up? I see Mike's here. Cost too much for me, don't have that kind of money. Is that custom? That is, I mean, yeah, I guess. Uh, Greg Brown makes it. He's always in the comments and stuff. He's the same guy that made the bollard that I use. Same guy that sent me that axe back there. I don't know if I showed him on the video here. There's multiple variations of this, and I have a couple more, but there's like, you know, here, and then he moved to this. Here's another one. There is another one somewhere around here. I don't even know where I put it, but let me get this thing tightened up so we can try this out. So I want to try to set it up. I love the new stopper system that he come up with. I'll show you a little closer look of how that thing actually hooks up. Yeah, I had so much trouble earlier today. Jeez, oh, come on. I had to, go buy a set of easy outs because my rope wrench was stuck into, or actually the nut that goes in there stripped out. Every time I try to switch it and put it on a separate tether, or I try to switch the tether out, it seems like the damn thing strips out every time. That's how I lose stuff. I wonder why I lose stuff all the time. And I'm sitting here like beating the piss out of it, knocking it all over the place. With VT, yeah, that's what I'm gonna set it up with. I use the VT, or sometimes I use the XT, which I'll show you the difference between the two. But there's not a lot of difference. There's an X at the back, which adds a little bit of extra friction, and if you have a longer prusik cord, it helps a little bit. I had one of my rope wrenches. It seemed like it would work quicker on this certain rope, but when I used the XT, that little bit of added friction gave me perfect action. So now I went ahead and those are attached now. So with the old one, we would take this thing, put it on, and it would go on with like with this little Carter key holding it down here in a groove. There's a groove on there. So we don't have to do that no more. Greg has developed this thing, which has a couple Allen wrench holes in it, or screws in it, that will clamp around and hold this rubber gasket that's been sized up. So to try to make this a little easier, I am going to steal a little bit of oil out of this jug so that it slides on. We'll see. It's pretty snug anyway. That slid right down. Oh, what am I? Oh, okay, yeah, I forgot. I'll have to take it all the way apart. So what's nice is the marker that he had there will tell me exactly where I can stop with the gasket. So now I'm going to put this piece on, then I'll connect the actual wrench. Love my Greg. Yeah, Scoot, right on. Hey, dang, I'm late. No, you're good. You're good. Oh, Greg, that's so awesome. I'm so glad that these Allen wrench that you use, they're the same size, so I didn't have to go get another Allen wrench because I wasn't prepared. So I'll drop these things out of this. Okay, so I don't know if you can. Yeah, you probably can. But what it did is I went ahead and just pulled the Allen wrench screws out. Now we'll go ahead and take this and we'll put it around this, right below the gasket. And what's nice is that thing will be adjustable. So let's say I wanted more action off of this, I would just lift, and then the rubber gasket would go higher, which would give me better action with the wrench. So make sure I don't cross thread nothing. So I don't know how I was supposed to do that, Greg, but I went ahead and did it sideways. That way the bolts or screws are out here, and even if I have the wrench on, it's easy to, you know. Max Grover, what's up, Max? I am thinking of making a rope tether. Yeah, right on. That's how the first shit gets made. Just take somebody to feel a little creative and say, well, you know what, I can't afford that, or I think I can make a better version. That's the best when I love that. Like, that version's cool, but I feel like there are improvements I can make. That kind of stuff. Greg, I think you hit an absolute home run with this adjustable piece here. I think this is brilliant. It's a very, very simple concept done perfect. So, not overcomplicated with a spring or nothing. You get all your action off of that rubber piece, which you same thing as a regular tether. You would get your action from this little rubber piece right here, which is like nothing. Now you get it from this, which is way nicer. So that's connected. It's hooked up. That piece will hold everything from moving, being able to come down, do anything. So, let's see. What else they call you stillborn? A lot of stuff. I mean, usually when I turn away and walk away, but no, my name's Mike. I just purchased all my equipment. If I noticed it is getting worn out, I just replace it. Right on. That's smart. I'm 17, so I don't have the most money. I made a rope wrench from wood, and it works surprisingly well. Yeah, move to metal, and stay low, practice low, and mess with it like that. If I'm being honest, I've seen rope wrenches made, the tethers made from string. So, I mean, it's only about holding that device so that you don't lose it on the way down. It stays connected to whatever your friction cord is. So, now I can finally attach my rope wrench, which I had to go buy a set of easy outs, all kinds of stuff this morning because it stripped out completely. But because that's something that has happened to me multiple times, I have multiple bolts for this thing, extra ones. So that wasn't a problem. I knew I had a nut for this thing. So now hook this up. Then as soon as this is done, now this is the best part about let's say, a rope wrench with, ooh, I think that's a little too much action. Yeah, see, now what I have to do there is I need to move the whole system up because I'm getting too much droop here. You want about to there. Maybe a little lower. But you don't want the system to totally collapse on itself like that, because then it's not doing anything. So I'll go ahead and tighten this down, but before I can really do too much, now I need to pop these things back off. Let's see. This is when you're really glad that you tightened it as tight as you could. You would think I would have waited until after I got to check it out before I started squeezing it down as hard as I could. So what I'll do is, now that I got the wrench on there, I can drop it down on the rubber gasket piece here and kind of see what action that I want. You'll see it'll raise the wrench a little bit. That's about what I'm looking for, because I want it a little higher. That way when the system collapses, it pushes into the rubber gasket a bit. The gasket is almost cut at the perfect angle that I want, which is nice. I can just kind of adjust the wrench up with this thing until I hit that, that perfect height that I'm looking for. And then take this thing and tighten it down. Then we'll go ahead and set this thing up. Now, what I was going to say, the best thing about using a rope wrench and, not a zigzag, is that it's midline attachable. Right in the middle of your climb line. If you needed an extra system, you can take this and attach it, no troubles. So being midline attachable is nice. You don't have to feed it through the end of the rope and take forever. So that's the action I'm looking for. Now, if you don't want it to hit on the metal, but there's the setup. I'm loving how it looks. Pop the pin in. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead without taking the zigzag off. I'm just going to go ahead. And this is how I set up a rope wrench with a micro pulley and a prusik. Pop the pin. Put it on. I put my wrench on first. It sits there. Grab my micro pulley, prusik, and I am going to use a quickie link. Just what I prefer. So, and actually I think Greg cut these holes for a quickie link. So, I'll go ahead, open up the micro pulley, slide it on, then I connect it, usually, but when you're dealing with these damn pins on these quickies, it's not what you end up wanting to use all the time, because it's a pain in the ass to get off and on. Let's see. When you get it on there, it works better than having a carabiner. But so I take it, hook it up, and then it kind of holds itself there. I was hoping it was going to hold a little better, but it did not. Then micro pulley or prusik. This is like a 10 millimeter, I believe. So to do a VT, I take, set up, I go around. Hang on, I'll start over. I go from here on the back. Your right hand rope will be taller because it's going to go wrap around a bunch of times. So it's like 2 to 3 or something like that. So wrap 3 up. Okay, so there's 3 up. Hang on, I switch. Yeah, whatever. There's 3. Well, it'll show 2 on that side, but it's 3 over here. So this is where I start crossing. So cross it. This one, since it's at the top, you want it to go behind so that it holds it. So then you start crisscrossing them and alternating the ropes as you crisscross them. You know. Then that climbing system is a very comfortable one. It's one that I've used for a long time and that I have no troubles with. When it's all put on and finished. Oh, these pins can be a booger. Oh wow, how aggravating. Tell you what, this is what I may do. Go ahead and hook up the prusik all the way to the bottom. I'm gonna have to mess with that. And then I can hook my wrench on separate. Don't want it on that one. Come on. This is not the tether I normally use, and I can tell. It's not like the right length. There we go. What a pain. What the hell? So, that gets hooked on like that. I was going to say real easy like that, but that's not true. It was not easy. It was ridiculous. So, you don't want too much friction there, but you want enough. I think I may have a little bit too much. I think I would have been safe taking this off and then ending on the back side here where these two want to cross. We'll just say I take it there instead so that I end up with enough length here, but clip it in like that. So now you're attached. This system would hold you and you could climb on it, but I wouldn't suggest it. So just that alone could be climbed on. I wouldn't trust it. So the way you make SRT is the addition of this wrench, and what I'll do, I got that hooked on the bottom so that I can clip in here, but I'm going to attach the wrench here with a quickie link, which will give me a spot to tin my slack and almost like another handle. I could put that all the way at the top, but I like that middle hole because it actually sits out a little bit and keeps it away from the prusik. You know, you get better action on everything. So the ending result there. Now you couldn't do this here with carabiners unless they are carabiners like this that have the stopper piece here, because it will rotate and it'll get off there. So the only reason you can do this with the wrench here is because of the quickie link. The quickie link, if this was a carabiner, the wrench would lift as it started to play and move around. It would lift off of here and then end up putting everything in a bind. But because of this quickie link and it just being a straight pin, it can't go off of it. Everything's set up, and I would climb this all day long with that. I have this hooked to one of my neon lights up there, so I don't want to pull on it very hard. But yeah, you can see that you can take the system, collapse it, climb it down, and when you tinned up, look, it just so nice. But yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to set up this new wrench, so I had one for the hitch climber. Really happy with the whole thing. Greg did such a great job on it, so kind of wanted to show it off, if I'm being honest, and because he doesn't show anything he does off, and I feel like somebody needs to, because the dude does great work. So this is my way of saying Greg is amazing, and thank you. And I just wanted to share it with you guys. So there's the end result. A very nice rope wrench. Love the tether. So this will be the wrench that I use, because you guys know I climb rope wrench above anything else. This will be my one for micro pulleys. Everything else, hitch climber. I have a couple other micro pulleys that I would climb it with, like let's see, like here's the ISC one that I got that originally is for the rope wrench. It also breaks down, has kind of a bigger set of holes there, but I still don't. It's one clip in. The hitch climber has 3 separate connection points, so you can attach more things. Tin your slack with your knee ascender or whatever. Then I got this notch one, which would also work with this system. So, I think. I don't know. Maybe not. No, because it flares out too much, it wouldn't work. So, it may work with it closed up. I could take both of these and attach them to one side and run it off of a straight shaft so it's like a single eye. But, like I said, there's so many adjustments and ways that you can set this up. That's my favorite thing about it. That is officially my wrench for basically everything that isn't this. And this is the same wrench. You can see Greg even etched it for me to say Steelborn. So that's what I use all the time. I love it. Love the new stopper. It's awesome. So now that I yacked for long enough, now I'm just going to sit here and talk to you guys. Let's see what you guys are doing. I don't want, unless you have a question, then I'll answer something, but I just need to get it done with. Just depends on how much I work. Looks like too low. Yep, Greg, you're right. You don't know when you put the wrench on. Yep. Called it. 25 degrees about right. Yeah. So, oh, we got JC. What's up? So, Greg, JC, hey, me too. I put the cord on the bottom and the wrench in the middle with the quickie. Yep, Scoot. That's it just works a little easier. It's a little cleaner of a setup. Thought you said you're not an engineer. Definitely not an engineer. I just know some pretty kind of smart people that have skills, and I have a little bit of a platform to show their stuff off, so I love doing that. That has nothing to do with me. That is all great. Sorry, Hetty. Get off here. Oh, dang. Right on. How you doing, Seth? And the tree rain's almost home. Rain is killing me. Dang. Yeah, it's raining pretty good here. Just need a few quickies. Those quickie links are really, really awesome, Seth. Yeah, action's always good, Dan. Oh, no, Greg, thank you. And if you get a hold of me, I'll get you one. You the man. You are the man. Yeah, it totally rained me out, Seth. Totally rained me out, too. Yeah, I'm kind of psyched to finally get a shot at using the knee ascender that I put together. It's going to be pretty fun. Not a whole much more than that going on. I got the last part in this series with the log lift and stuff. I have that pretty close to being finished, so that's coming for you guys. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do after that. Maybe a review or something. I don't really know. Kind of getting burnt on it. I have to like take a break sometimes because I feel like I've put out a lot of content here lately, and I feel a little burnt. And I feel like it'll show in my videos if I don't take a break and let like creativity build back up. but we'll see. Sometimes I get inspired by crazy stuff. Like, I'll watch skateboard videos, and skateboard videos are a lot of times what I watch to kind of get inspired. I like the views and the ability to catch that action so clearly, being in the right spot and showing a certain angle to make something look a certain way. And because I've recorded stuff and then afterwards been like, what the hell? That was like, to me, that felt like 10 times that size, but in this video, it looks so small. Like that rope wrench, can you send me the info so I can purchase from your guy that built it? Hey, Greg, Greg's in the comments here. But, yeah, I had something I was going to tell you guys. I totally freaking forgot. But there was something that I was going to say as soon as I got on here. Oh, I did get a chance to tune out my, my 200T today. I hadn't had a chance to do that in a while. It hasn't ran in a while, but yeah, I think I ran it out of gas. But I have that one, and then I have another one up here that I want to have somebody build for me. There's this one here that is a good saw. It ran, but it doesn't run anymore. And then I got that. This one runs pretty. It's like a 191. My limb walker, but it's just a little heavy. Not enough power. Yeah, I think I'm gonna kind of alternate and put the 200 back in the lineup and grab the 201 and pull it out. How much for Greg's wrench? You'll have to ask Greg. Greg kind of work something out with the ones that I got, so I don't know. You'll have to get a hold of him and work something up. Yeah. It's wild. I've gotten tethers from every direction, like so many different tethers from people. I got them from Cheryl Tree, sent me tethers. Tree Stuff sent me this tether. I think I still have my Cheryl Tree tether too. So, the single eye tether. If somebody gets to where they need a tether, let me, I have these that are still good. I love the aluminum tether, and I've just gotten used to it. That's what I would prefer to ride on if I have a choice. This one I did love this one. It was in so many videos, but yeah, it's a Cheryl Tree. I think I won like a raffle or something for this thing, and they sent it to me. And then I think I have another one somewhere. Some kind of rope. I'd like to know where it's at because it's probably on my other rope wrench that I can't find. So I'm missing an entire rope wrench, tether and all. If it ever dries out, come over and have a buck and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, you got plenty of the stuff to do it on, yeah. May do that, Mike. Was gonna get Rion rounds when I got uni from Monkey Beaver, but with harness I was at Grand, so didn't get it on me. Yeah. Yeah, it's quite the process that they have to go through to do some of the stuff. I can appreciate Greg's because he's taken a lot of the little complicated, silly things out of it and simplified it to be durable and just strong, but still give you the same effects. So I personally dig it. Other than that, I think I'm gonna go pro with fingerboarding. I just decided the other day that I'm gonna try to get sponsored. I'm pretty good now. I spent a couple hours doing it, and like my teenage years came back, and I started realizing I can still ride a fingerboard and set to ride a fingerboard. I can still, like, when I say that, like, I can do all the tricks that I do on a skateboard with a fingerboard. It's kind of funny. Guys, I think I am going to, I don't really have anything else going on. I can't remember what it was that I was going to tell you, so I just don't want to sit here staring at you guys through the camera. It's gonna get me around when I got Unity with honest. I was a grand, so didn't want to. Yeah, the expensive. I mean, the setup is expensive because the actual wrench is quite pricey. This part here, and then, you know, aluminum tether. There's a lot of work that goes into that, machining these pieces. That, you know, keeping this part of it solid and not piecing it together is where your strength's going to come from, I feel like, and machining it from a solid piece, it gets tough. So I have tons of fingerboards. My son had a huge collection. Right on. That's awesome. Need a mini trash can to ollie over. I got another mini skateboard right here to do tricks over, and then here's my grind box. Check it out. That's ridiculous, isn't it? And then I got extreme the other day. Started skating out of the back of this truck. Had her set up here. You gotta watch out. I'll turn it into a damn skate park. And I was getting some kickflip to board slides on it, you know. But this is the silly kind of stuff that I used to do on a skateboard. I would sit in school and think of what I was going to do when I got out of school with my skateboard, what stairs I was going to do it on, and did I have time to call somebody to get the camera there. Like, the funny thing is, there would be days where I would go and just skate and get the tricks down before we would have somebody show up with a camera. Oh, I don't even think I have a copy of any of our old videos either, which is sucky. I don't have any of my CDs from, like, my old bands. I gave them all away. I don't think I have any of the shirts anymore. I give everything away. Yeah. Yeah, Kathy, I get down with fingerboard. That's my style. It doesn't hurt near as bad as the regular skateboard, so. But I think I'm going to go to the skate park. I'll give it a try here soon. As soon as it dries up and I get a little time. I may have some work coming up, maybe a few jobs where we'll get into some really, really dead ash trees. You know, Mike, you said I need to get a little trash can to do tricks over. Here's my little Tonka truck I built. It's all dirty, but yeah, this thing. Funny thing is, like, that's what this one's for. That's what it looked like. The windows all busted out and it rusted, and you know. And then it came out really, really nice. I like made a bed for it. I put this wood bed on it. Put a toolbox in it. I went like way overboard. But I'm one of them people that has to have something to do when I'm bored or I go crazy. Right on, Seth. Hey, have a good one, buddy. I'm going to have to get off here in a second, too. So, you have 3 grind rails sitting in front of you. Yeah, that's what I want to start skating. Oh, think of this. Because this thing has the doubled legs, so I have this drop-off piece here. Oh, we're about to have a skate session. You have to watch out. Get my dang board, and you guys need to watch it. Oh, God. Because this is kind of tree work too, you know, because there is a tether involved. What if I can kickflip boards? Let me get that here. Let's see. Oh no, I can't even flip it. Stupid. Yeah, that needs to be more solid. That doesn't work. You know what's bad? It's like, don't take me long before I start sucking at it too, because I have arthritis in my hands. Same thing with playing guitar. It doesn't take me long before my hands really get to hurting, and I can't do it. So I got a drone over here. I was thinking about flying it into something, because it doesn't videotape worth a damn. So I was just gonna fly it into a tree or something. It just sits here. Attach my GoPro to it and then fly it up into the air. Get some good shots that way, because the camera on it sucks. It was like a waste of money. That's book and struck, yeah. Kind of looks like it, doesn't it? If I would have painted it those colors, it really would have made it look like that. I should have white and green. Look out, Tony Hawk, Mike. Yeah, heck yeah. I watched a like an SLS skate video, one of their competitions. I think it was maybe Dew Cup, but I watched this little girl that was like 12 years old. She couldn't have weighed 50 pounds soaking wet, and she was doing kickflip, like, well, maybe she was kickflip board stuff. She was like crooked grinding 12 stair handrails and doing like back feebles and stuff like that. It was unreal. And maybe she wasn't even 12, maybe she's like 9 years old. I don't know. She got second in the world, and it was crazy. And she was just a little like Latino little girl. Then there was a bunch of little Chinese girls, and they were all killing it too. But yeah, it blew my mind. Now it's like little kids are phenomenal. You gotta like put a skateboard. I should teach my dog how to skateboard. I was talking to my wife about that. I have a skateboard over here for him. Oh, I'm gonna start working on that. Maybe I can show a video of my dog skateboarding eventually. Guys, I'm gonna get off here. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Sorry if I bored you. I was bored, but yeah, it was what it was. Now we're done. See you guys. Stay safe. I'll catch you later.